Hey guy, hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Today, as you saw from the title, we're going to be talking about fish keepings, the ups and the downs. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. No, we're not gonna wait for people to join because I don't care that much. That's gonna take forever. My channel's small. Um, I'm super glad YouTube added this feature that welcome to the live stream. um I'm glad YouTube added this feature that uh small channels like me can still live streams rather than having to have 5,000 subscribers to then finally do a live stream. That drives me nuts. Sorry about that. um yeah, that drives me nuts, but I'm glad YouTube fixed that, and now small channels like me can finally do live streams and stuff. I'm really happy that YouTube fixed that. If you're wondering why Mushu's lighting, you might be saying, "Oh, Mushu's a bearded dragon. He should have better lighting than that." His light bulb just blew out, like yesterday, and we ran out of replacements, so we're like, okay, well, let's roll with what we've got. So we've got this lamp, so we put it upside down, and now Mushu's got some sort of lighting. But yeah, the Guppy Garden's looking really nice. Mushu's tank is looking way better than before. It looks like a full-on jungle. It's so cool. I'm sure he loves it. Um, but you may be saying, what do you mean by the fish keeping ups and downs? Like, there's downs to fish keeping? And wait, there's positives to fish keeping? I mean, like, yes, there is, okay? Um, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. Um, First, I just want to talk about what's going on, uh, what's going on in my life, with the fish room, the new guppy breeding pond, which I told y'all about in a short, but there it is. And my very dirty cabinet. So sorry, making sure the mic works. Sorry, gotta make sure it works. But hold on. Let me see something. I have to get my phone real quick. 1 second. I gotta get my phone so I can get to you. Yes, I am wearing Crocs. Sue me. I mean, look at these things. Never go wrong with Crocs. They're comfy. You can wear them outside, inside, fancy events, non-fancy events. Probably don't wear them to a wedding. But Crocs, best shoe ever. Um, Real quick, I'm going to make sure that the stream is going okay when it comes to other crap. Gonna go to my channel. Um, um, that's a weird thumbnail. Why did they make the thumbnail like that? Oh my gosh. Well, that kind of sucks. I kind of wish they didn't do that. It actually doesn't look too bad. Hold on, let me show you. That's a thumbnail. It's actually not terrible. It's not terrible, actually. So, let's get back into what we were doing. We're going to talk about. Let me make sure this mic is making sure it works properly. Hello. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not want to use the laptop microphone. I used it before, and it sounds like when you break your microphone. But as you can see, the RAM is coming out. You can't really see them too good on camera because that light is going crazy. How about I turn that light out? There we go. Kind of get some natural lighting almost. Because I've got a window right here. So, you can see that's the RAM. He is real nervous. Let me turn that light back on. But it looks really bright, but it's actually really not. It's he's like, what just happened? Okay, I'm going back. He's back. I never knew that RAM could back up like that. That's weird. I never knew that. Well, you learn something new every day. Anyways, but as I was saying in my life, two big things. One, I'm making a Matchbox car review video. So, yeah, I'm making a Matchbox car review video. So, subscribe so you can see that. And also, guess what? I have a new channel. That's right, guys. I finally have my gaming channel. But it's not gaming like you would think. No, because in this community, we don't do things like you would think. We don't YouTube like people would think. People would think, oh, you do vlogs on YouTube. No, we're gonna do fish videos. You're gonna do gaming videos. No, we're gonna do VR videos. That's right, guys. We are do I The new channel is called J Graham VR. Go check it out. Super cool. I just uploaded my first video on there. It has no thumbnail because I'm very bad at YouTube, but I'm learning, okay? So bear with me. Um yeah. So that is great. I finally got my new gaming channel. I'm uploading a video. I have to edit the thumbnail and stuff. I have to go back with my phone and edit the thumbnail. I'm terrible at editing videos on this laptop. So I usually like send the videos to my phone or something, and then when I take the phone and I send the videos to them, and then I edit them from my phone. But I just need to figure out how to do that. What did I do there? How did I do that? What did I just do? Well, that's mute. Okay, bear with me because I've got a new keyboard too. It's not fancy, it's not one of those fancy RGB keyboards, but it's useful, it's practical, it's simple too. It's just It's just an Amazon Basic keyboard. Um, Literally, it's Amazon Basics. So, not super fancy, but I mean, like, I'm only 14 years old. Let's be honest. I don't have money, but yeah. Oh, buddy, what are you doing? And the money I get doesn't typically go to YouTube. It usually goes to them. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. So in my new gaming channel, we're gonna do I'm not sure if we're gonna do as many live streams as we do in this channel and that channel, because that channel is a whole lot more difficult to do live streams and stuff. And I have to figure out how to film videos directly from the Oculus rather than trying to take the Oculus, put the videos onto the laptop, and post the video onto YouTube. And instead of doing that, I'm going to try to figure out how to post the videos directly from the Oculus. And that's what I'm using, an Oculus Quest 2. And it works very nice, um, there's a new Oculus, and I guarantee you there are gonna be people who just cannot go with the old. They have to go with the new. And I am not one of those people because I have no money. In fact, that's not even my Oculus. That's This is very embarrassing to say, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm not telling you guys. Secrets. Um. So. Um. So yeah, that's kind of everything that's been going on in my life. Uh, I think I told you guys in the last live stream I did order some shrimp off of Amazon. Most of them ended up dying, like half of them, and unfortunately, they ended up taking um the really shrimp and the orange shrimp away with them, um, which is really sad. I don't have any more yellows. I don't have any more blue velvets, but I do have one really and three cherries. That's all that's left from them, and it's really sad. If y'all know why my shrimp keep dying, please tell me. I am very confused. All of a sudden, I look over there and they're all dying. So I don't know what's going on. If you guys can tell me if you guys have possible answers or something, go ahead and say it. I need answers. Um so let me send this live stream to some of the people I know. Um doop doop doop. Go here. While I'm doing this, I will give you the chance to go ahead and subscribe. So I'm just gonna give you a minute, give you a second. No, oh, still haven't done it? Okay, okay. That's cool. Is it, okay, okay. Give me more time. I'll give you more time. Did, uh, did you do it? Did you do it? Be honest with me. Did you subscribe? Did you subscribe? I'm gonna give you a few more minutes. Give you a few more minutes. Better subscribe. You better subscribe. I'm coming. I'll come to your house and I'll steal all of your cookies. Every single one of them. All your cookies gone. No more cookies. No more cookies for you guys. No more. Oh, hello. Welcome to the live stream. I am so sorry. I am uh a little caught up in something. But now we're ready. Okay. Now, now that we're done with this, all things going on, since y'all just joined the live stream, I'm going to go ahead and recap on everything that happened. So basically, we're talking about what's going on in my life. I'm going to post a video of reviewing some Matchbox cars that I got. Um, I set up a guppy breeding pond, and I've got a new channel, JGram VR. You can go subscribe to it, and I just posted my first video on there, so go ahead, go subscribe to it. I don't care, do whatever you want. Now, um, we're gonna talk about, like the title says, fish keepings, ups and downs. So um, and when I say fish keeping ups and downs, I mean good fish, bad fish, fish I like, fish I don't like, fish I would suggest to a beginner fish keeper, fish I would suggest to maybe someone who has a bit more experience under their belt. So, yeah, let's begin. First, we're going to talk about, good fish and bad fish. So I would say what categorizes a good fish for a beginner is something that it's a fit. It's a good fish when it can. It's not like a zebra danio or a coolie loach that you get it and it's never gonna die. Like it's impossible to kill. But a good beginner fish is something you can possibly make a mistake on, and it might, let's just say it'll teach you a lesson. And because when fish die, you can learn, you can take that time to learn and think, okay, how did this fish die? How can I fix it? Try again. Oh, the fish died again. Okay, how do I fix it? Whereas a fish that is bulletproof and you could be making a tons of mistakes and the fish is not going to die, you're not going to learn anything because the fish is not teaching you anything when it comes to learning basically. um so yeah, that's what I would categorize as a good beginner fish, and one of those fish that I've just described is one of the good beginner fish that you could use is mollies. These fish are bulletproof, but they're not so bulletproof that you're not going to have to treat them for anything. Sometimes you may have to treat them, but they're not going to be so they're not going to be like a discus that they're so, they need everything from you. They require tons of maintenance. They're so they're kind of laid back that can, you can have them and you can learn a lesson with them, but you know, you're not going to kill them. And it's not a super expensive fish that you're just going to end up killing. You can find them anywhere too. You can find them at Petco. You can find them at Petco, PetSmart, your local fish stores, anywhere. And I would say they need, like, if you're getting 3 of them, I would put them in something like a 10-gallon. 10-gallon or bigger is what I would go with if you're going for like 3 of them. If you're going for more, I would go for bigger. Bigger, when it comes to fish, bigger is always better. And um, of course, with the people for tank, I was kind of showing y'all how y'all can minimalize. You guys can minimalize, but um, when it comes to most fish, bigger is always better. So, yeah. And another good beginner fish is guppies, and I've got them right back here. It's really hard to see them, but I've got some right back here. That's a guppy. I've got a bunch of guppies in there, and guppies, unlike some of your school teachers or your kindergarten teachers, I'm kidding. I know none of you guys are in kindergarten, but unlike people will say, guppies are not a baby fish. Guppies make a lot of babies, but they're not baby fish. Guppies are their own species of fish. They are a freshwater fish, and they live. I have a couple back there, but they're really hard to. Oh yeah, there they are. There they are. You can see them right there. Um, and they are really good beginner fish. I mean, they're a little more fragile than mollies. They're not going to be as hardy as a molly. They may die on you, but they're really good beginner fish because they can help you learn about breeding. They can help you learn about, you know, all kinds of different things. They are just great beginner fish. So yeah, another good one, another really good one, my favorite one, in fact, are ember tetras. And these guys, I've got some of them back there. Once again, really hard to see, but I've got some ember tetras back there, and they are some of the best beginner fish I find because they're super hardy, but not once again, not so hardy that you're not going to learn anything with them. They are hardy enough that you can keep them as a beginner, but not so hardy that you're going to keep them and not learn anything and then just move on to other fish and kill them immediately. And they stay really small. You can keep them in a pretty small tank, I'd say. Um, I mean, I wouldn't say pretty small. Once again, 10 gallons are up because while they are really teeny tiny, they like to swim a lot. They are very active fish. They like to school, they like to swim, but they don't like to school like you would think, like other fish. So most other fish will school. Good lord, they're getting loud back there. Um, uh, most other fish will school, like a big ball of fish, just a big compact ball of fish. But these guys, they don't like to school like that. They like to kind of venture off on their own, but they're technically still part of a school. I would not put a small group of ember tetras in a big tank either. Um, like if you have like a 75-gallon tank, I would go with 75 Ember Tetras. Like, if you, in my opinion, I think the amount of gallons in the tank, it's 1 gallon per Ember Tetra. Up from 10 gallons. So, like, you go 10 gallons, which is 10 Ember Tetras, and then you go up and up and up and up until like 75 gallons, you go 75 Ember Tetras. I'm going to close this because that glare, that's better. Um, so that's how I would do it personally. But you can do it however, whatever rule of thumb you decide. That's just my personal rule of thumb when it comes to Ember Tetras. So yeah, I would like I say, 1 Ember temperature per gallon, but don't. That does not mean you can put 1 Ember Tetra in a 1 gallon tank. That's not how that works. It's 10 gallons and above. So yeah. Um, and some of the fish that I would not suggest to you, whether you're a beginner fish keeper or not a beginner fish keeper, I would not. These are some of the fish I would not suggest to you. And one of them, it was a pain. It's the silver dollar. And now some people will get mad at me and like, oh my gosh, silver dollars are so cool. They're the coolest fish. I love them and stuff. But this is all in my opinion, okay? So not your opinion. Um so yeah. Um Silver dollars are pain, and this is because silver dollars will eat all your live plants, and that it does not matter what kind of plant it is. It could be uh, a pothos sticking out the top and the roots going down, and they'll eat the roots and kill the pothos. Like these things will eat any plant you have. None of your plants are safe. Your Nubius is dead. Like everything. So when you're getting silver dollars, just know you cannot have them in a planted tank. As much as I would love to see a silver dollar in a planted tank, that would actually be really cool. These guys are just too they just like plants and they like to eat them. So yeah. Uh another fish is another fish, and this one is just for beginners. It's shrimp. Most people will say shrimp are hardy, and you can keep shrimp and they're not going to die on you no matter what you do. These guys are a pain. I have them in there and they keep dying. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe I need to add minerals. Maybe I have to, you know. But shrimp, specifically like Neocaridina shrimp, like cherry shrimp, velvet blues, really shrimp, all kinds of different shrimps. They, in my opinion, they're just a pain and they're hard to keep. Um, so beware if you're a beginner and you're trying to get a shrimp, just know, be prepared for them to die. Um, so yeah. Um, And then I would say, I don't know, there's not a lot of fish that I don't like. I like fish. Um, Let me think. There's one, and it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't not. Oh, yep, there it is. The Hillstream Loach, also known as the Butterfly Loach, also known as a bunch of other names, and I'm not going to try to, the reticulated Hillstream Loach, the um, I don't know how many names there are. I just call them butterfly loaches. And these guys are also big pains. And it's not because of the fact, it's not because they're like, it's not because they're like, hard to keep or something, but they are mean. They will attack everything in your tank. We put them in with the goldfish, and these goldfish, they're big. Goldfish get big. They're not huge right now. They're like about this big. Those Hillstream loaches, anytime, and the Hillstream loach, they're only like that big. The goldfish, they're like this big. And the Hillstream loach, the goldfish will come to the bottom, and the Hillstream loach and just push them off the bottom and bounce them around like beach balls. I'm like, this thing is a jerk. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't keep them with guppies. I don't trust them with any of my fish. And the only reason I trust them with my goldfish is just because, the goldfish are way bigger. I know the goldfish aren't going to actually get hurt by them, rather than it just being kind of, uh, the the Hillstream Loach being like, hey, this is my territory. And they're like, okay. Um, Rather than something like a guppy, like a small fish, put them with the Hillstream Loach, and that I doubt a guppy would last. Yeah, that's really all the fish that I can think of that are bad. I can't really think of a lot of bad fish. Now we're moving on to the third subject, and that is um, a third subject for today is pros and cons for fish keeping as a hobby. Um, and there are a lot of pros, but I can't think of a lot of cons. Um, but let's go ahead and talk about the pros, the good stuff. Um, and that's that. I did a little bit of research, and I found out that fish keeping can improve your mental health. And all I know is that one time I got stung by a wasp. Let's be honest, everyone gets stung by a wasp occasionally. And, it hurts. And especially when you're freaking out about it. Because, I mean, who does not freak out when they get stung by a wasp? You freak out and you're like, oh gosh, I just got touched by a big bug and got stung by on the neck. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. Am I gonna die right now? Because in the moment you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. I'm literally going to die, even though it's not a big deal. Um, but I got stung by a wasp. I went and sat in front of this tank because it's nice and calm and stuff. The fish in there are nice and chill. And I went and sat in front of there. It's like I never got stung by a wasp. Like I sat by there and I was like, oh yes, I don't like it, I didn't feel a thing. So I will say fish tanks really do help. And you know I'm pretty sure. My theory is that's why they have fish tanks in doctors' offices and dentist areas and stuff, whatever you call them, dentist office. I don't know. Where at the dentist and stuff, you have fish tanks there because they're nice, they're calming, especially when you're bringing a kid into the dentist and you see, the kid seeing a fish tank, they're not freaking out about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a dentist is gonna start digging in my mouth. No, they're thinking about this fish tank that they see. So they're like, the kid's like, oh, okay, there's a fish tank. Huh? I want to look at the pretty fish. And that's why I think fish keeping is, it's good. It can really, it can do some good. And then, of course, what everyone wants to hear, there is money involved. Now, I'm not saying money like a full on profit, but I'm saying money like a few extra bucks. And one of the ways you can do that is, well, like I said, guppies. They breed a lot. You can sell the babies. And I know that sounds absolutely terrible, but to show you how little guppies care about their babies, the guppies will literally eat their own babies. So I don't think the guppies care if you sell their babies. Um, but when selling their babies, I suggest waiting until the babies grow up, then sell them. You're going to get a lot more money from a grown guppy rather than a fry. So, yeah, you can get a few extra bucks and uh, selling plant trimmings. And one of the ways my dad keeps suggesting to me, and I want to do at some point, um, taking your knowledge, which is like building planted tanks like this one, and going up to dentist's office or stuff, and like or something, and like being like, hey, look, you want to set up a fish tank? Because big businesses, they're not gonna have time to take care of a fish tank and set up a fish tank. That's where you come in. You come in and you be like, hey, look, I can set up your fish tank. I can come in every week, like twice a week, and like do water changes, feed the fish, and like all that kind of stuff. In the business, you know, they can pay you like maybe like once a month or something. Um, I don't know. That's up to you to decide, but just an idea. And then there's maintenance. You can go to their people's houses and stuff, and be like, hey, I'm gonna do maintenance on your tank, for a fee, of course. And then now obviously you're not going door to door, um, telling people, hey, I'm doing maintenance. Like that would be dumb. Um, Maybe like make a website or something. Make a uh I don't know, like put up, even just putting up flyers around your neighborhood saying, "Hey, you've got a goldfish in a fishbowl. I can fix up a new fish tank for you for a fee." And that's that's a good way to like earn money. Um yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of good that can come from fish keeping. But of course, there are some things that can make it go wrong. So, yeah, let's get into that portion of it. The portion that no one wants to talk about. Hold on. This glare is going to drive me crazy. It may not be driving you crazy, but it's going to drive me crazy. Is that better? I just shook the camera so bad there. Uh, Not even a little. Is that better? Whole lot better. Okay, sorry for the lighting, but unfortunately, I can't really fix that because of the fact that if I turn that on, it's going to be bright lights. So, yeah. Oh, real quick, I just want to say there's two viewers, which thank you guys for sticking around. Um, Feel free to, you know, ask questions or, you know, type in the chat, whatever. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Uh, you can feel free to type, ask questions, um, make observations, whatever. I don't know. Um, Anyways, the cons of fish keeping. There are some cons. Not a lot, but there is a couple, and that is maintenance. One of them is maintenance, and sometimes I now personally I like doing maintenance because in my opinion, it's kind of fun, getting your hands dirty a little bit and like, washing out gravel or, doing water changes or something. I personally like doing that because I kind of like almost, uh, it's kind of like the equivalent of, giving your dog a bath. No, that's not very fun, is it? I guess like brushing off your dog or something. It's kind of that kind of thing. You're brushing off your dog rather than um that's kind of the same thing when it comes to, you when you brush off your dog, it's almost like you're petting them and stuff, and it's like that's kind of the same thing with this. It's like when you do water change, it's kind of the same thing. Uh, it's kind of like you get to interact with your fish a little bit. Um, but some people don't like doing it, understandably, because you have to lift pounds of water everywhere, and sometimes, most of the times, you spill water. Also, if you have hardwood floors, please don't get a fish tank. You are going to lose your flooring. Yeah. But I mean, like, other than that, fish keeping is really not a bad hobby to get into. You can learn so much from fish keeping. You can learn how to set up a natural environment for your animals, a self-sustaining environment for your animals. Like this tank, uh, I used to have to do water changes to it, but now I don't have to do any water change to that tank. I don't have to do water changes on the pea puffer tank, which you cannot see. Um, that one. You still can't see it. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna go over there because I'm filming on a laptop, and I don't know if you have any idea how hard it is to take your mic, take your laptop, and take your keyboard over to a different area just so you can show. But I'm not doing that. So yeah. And then of course, oh well, we have a lot more time left than I thought. I thought these subjects were going to take a lot more time, but since we've got some more time, uh, and what I mean by that is I would like to, on my streams, I like to go for at least over an hour because I mean, that's how a live stream works. It's a long video, you go for a long time. It's something you watch. People listen to podcast, um, people listen to live streams like podcasts and stuff. I know that's what I do. I listen to Aquarium Co-op. Um and yeah, it's really nice. Uh so I would like to strive to go over an hour on most of my streams. One stream I know I did 40, I think 40, I can't remember, like 48 minutes. So, I mean, oh gosh, I keep shaking my camera. I am so sorry. Um, but yeah, uh there's I guess I'm gonna set to oh my goodness, we've got a lot of people. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Um there are some things I can talk about, and that is I do want to talk a little bit about pea puffers because they are kind of mysterious, kind of different, N- uh, you know, uh well, no, I already talked about pea puffers. Actually, I forgot about that. Um, no. Instead, I'm gonna talk about good fish for 10-gallon aquariums because I know 10-gallon aquariums are super popular. When you start off the hobby, you're gonna get a 10-gallon because a 10-gallon, it's easy. It's big, but not so big that it's gonna take up all the room and you're gonna need to set up a new table for it or something. No, you can just set it on your kitchen counter. You set it on your uh, bedroom. On your nightstand, on your dresser. Doesn't matter. You set it anywhere. Um, But I want to talk about good fish for a 10-gallon. That does not include the fish we already talked about. We already talked about mollies, we already talked about amber tetras, and we already talked about guppies. So I'm not going to be including those. But I will say a really good one that I really like, and it's a new one, is German blue rams. And I did a little bit more digging. I thought they needed a bigger tank, but I did a little bit more digging, and turns out they don't actually need a bigger tank. As long as you have adequate filtration and stuff, they should be perfectly fine. Um, in a 10-gallon. And neons, of course. Who's not going to include neon tetras in a list of good fish? I mean, a 10-gallon tank is really the smallest I would go for 10 neon tetras. Um but I would not go any smaller. I mean, this is kind of pushing it. But for neons, I wouldn't go any smaller than a 10-gallon. But they are really cool fish. And I have a black neon. I have a black neon in there. I'm sorry, they're having like a party out there, and because one of my mom's friends is over, and so they're hanging out, and so they're both of them are loud and stuff. So you know how it is. Uh, what was I saying? I've got a black neon in there. That's what I was saying. But they are different. Black neons, instead of red, uh, instead of blue and red, they're blue and black. So I think they're kind of neat, though. I kind of like black neons, and that's another one that's good for a 10-gallon is black neons. And then there's pea puffers. You can do 3 pea puffers in a 10-gallon, and I think that's pretty neat. You put others. You can put some like ember tetras in there. You put some pea puffers in there, maybe some shrimps if the pea puffers will allow it, and you've got a really nice tank. Um, so yeah. Uh there are some stone cats. That's right, stone cats. Good lord, they're having fun out there, I bet. Stone cats are a really good one. Those stone cats, you can go way smaller than a 10-gallon. I would say minimum for a stone cat is 2.5 gallons. Same thing with pea puffers. 2.5 gallons minimum. Um, but yeah, I think those are some pretty good fish for a 10-gallon, I would say. Um, and now, um, oh, if you don't know what a stone cat is, real quick, if you don't know what a stone cat is, it's a little catfish. It stays like really, really tiny. Like literally, that's how long it gets. It is really tiny. So you really don't have to worry about a big tank. They're not super active. For this tank, I would say like 5 stone cats. Um yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. I like stone cats. Um I do need to do a bit of research to see if they're schooling fish. Because I only have one in my 2.5 gallon. So I do need to do a bit of research and see if they're schooling fish. I would, in my opinion, I would pretend. When you're setting up a tank for stone cats, I would pretend that they are fish just in case, because I have to do a little bit of research to figure that out. Yeah. Um. Oh, and I did a video about this, but I want to explain it real quick. The reason I have a sponge filter in that tank rather than hang on the back or oh my goodness, we have a lot of viewers, 4 viewers. Welcome to the live stream. Um so the reason I have a sponge filter in here rather than a hang on the back or a canister, which if you didn't know, they make canister filters small enough for a 10-gallon, which is insane. I thought canister filters were for big tanks, but you can find canister filters for little tanks, and I did not know that. But um, the reason I have a sponge filter on here is just one because it works. It works really nicely. It may not look super nice, and I really don't like the way it looks, but it works so nicely. I mean, like that, it doesn't look like it, but that water is very clear, and that ram is doing very nicely. So that's why I have a sponge filter in there. Oh, and because Fry, this is my main breeding tank. 5 viewers. Wow, welcome to the live stream. Um, because I have guppies in there, and those guppies will, the baby guppies will get sucked up into a canister filter or a hang on the back filter. Whereas this sponge filter, it won't suck up a baby shrimp. So this thing is really good for these little tanks, for these littler tanks. I wouldn't say a 10 gallon is a little tank. Um, so yeah, I mean like these sponge filters, they work. As much as Aquarium Co-op says their sponge filters work, in my opinion, I would not go for Aquarium Co-op sponge filters because of how coarse their sponges are. So I would go for like a cheap sponge filter on Amazon. Get out of here.
Let's go to the fish store.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently we're ending the live stream. Thank you for watching. For the fact that we've got 5 views on this video. This is my dad. I am recording a video with him.
I don't know who his dad is.
I'm recording a video with him. Okay, but I'm recording a video with him. We have a I think we're gonna set up like a mechanics channel for like cars and stuff, and I've got one video up for that, so you should definitely subscribe to that. Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. All right, so thank you for watching. 5 views. That was so good.
You can mail cash or checks. Thank you.
Yes. All right. See ya. Okay, let me go ahead and end it.
That's funny.